and welcome to PD in your PJs. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight to talk about how you can manage your classroom library using Seesaw. And our guest presenter, Sophia, has some really great tips and ideas for you. Before we begin, I want you to know that you should hear me talking now. We are recording this short session, and you will receive that in an email shortly after we conclude tonight. The best part, though, is that we will share the slides, and those will come to you in the same email. And that way you can open those and click through them at your convenience later on to take a closer look at all of the ideas and resources being shared. Quick intro before we get too far. My name is Julie. I was a high school ELA teacher for 18 years. I'm now on the teacher community team at Seesaw. Go ahead and find me on Twitter. I'm at EdTechJulieJ. And then, of course, you can connect with all of us on the Seesaw team on Twitter at Seesaw. Now, Sophia's not going to talk too much about getting started with Seesaw. So if you're brand new, please visit ideas.seesaw.me. That will give you everything you need to get started. And then check out our calendar of upcoming PD at web.seesaw.me/PD. Now, I just want to ask you one quick favor before I get ready to turn over the controls to Sophia. We're going to have a survey that pops up on your screen right after we conclude our session tonight. And if you just can take 1 minute and give me some feedback, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying hard to make our webinars better, and we're excited to hear your feedback. So if you can give us a little bit of info there, we'll take it into consideration. And also the bonus is we choose a t-shirt winner randomly every week from those survey responses. So complete the survey for your chance to win. How's it going, Sophia? I'm about ready to kick it over to you.
I'm great. I'm ready.
Okay, well, we can't wait to hear you talk about how you take care of all of your classroom books. Let me know when you can see the pop-up. Okay, good. We can see your screen. You're good.
Okay, let me get into the presentation here. There's also a bit.ly at the bottom, so if you can't wait for those slides, you can look up that bit.ly and you will get all of these slides once I'm done talking. So my name is Sophia Garcia-Smith. I'm a second grade teacher in Des Plaines. This is my 7th year teaching second grade. Before that, I was an ELL resource teacher. I also taught preschool and just a gamut of different things. But right now I've been in second grade for 7 years and I'm loving it. So what I find in second grade is that my kids love to take out my classroom books. And so I needed to find a way to make sure that I could keep track of them. And since I use Seesaw so much, I wanted to go ahead and jump on the bandwagon and be able to use it for my classroom library. So really, really quick steps. Everything that you need is in this slideshow, which you'll get. 4 simple steps. First, you're going to create a student. I know some people call them fake students, so it's up to you on what you want to call it. You're going to take a picture of the book. And then there's 2 ways to manage notifications. So one of them is to tag the student. When you tag the student, it does go to their journal, which means their family will get a notification. Some people didn't want to have the family notified for every book that was taken out. For me, it's beneficial for me. Parents get to see what their students are reading in my classroom or taking home every night. And they also get a warning that, hey, there's a book coming home that maybe doesn't belong to your child. If you don't want notifications, you would just put the name of the student in the caption, and then there would be no notification because you're not going to tag the student. They'll just be sitting in the fake student slash classroom library. And you'll understand this as I go along with the steps. And then the very last one is you can delete the post when the book is returned, or you can keep them. And I'll show you a quick way that I also started to monitor and to keep record of what kind of books students are checking out over a period of time. So here we go. So simple, go to the wrench. You're going to go to manage students. And then I created a student called Classroom Library Checkout. And if you see that on the number 4, you can see that it just says Classroom Library Checkout, and then you add it as the student. So quick, simple steps. The wrench is your best friend. That will get you to all the class settings that you need to get into. So here we go. We're going to check out a book today. So this is what the students would do. You go to Add to Student Journal, so the green plus, Post to Student Journal. You're going to click on the photo and take a photo of the book cover. So there's an exact picture of a student who's taking a picture of a book that they're checking out from my library. Again, I said there's two ways to manage this notification. So you'll see on the first one, the parents will get the notification when you tag the student and the classroom with the picture. So you have to tag both. If you just continue to tag the classroom checkout, you're not going to know who's checking out the book. So you have to make sure you tag both if you want parents to get a notification. Don't want a notification. That is when you just tag the classroom library only. So it's like the classroom library is checking out a book to itself. You'll enter the student's name in the caption field and don't tag anyone else in it. So now there's no parent connected to the classroom library checkout, so you don't have to worry about anyone getting a notification about that. And then the name in the caption is for you so that you know who's checked out the book. And remember in Seesaw that everything that you enter into the journal is dated. So you will have a date, a title, and a student tied to that book for every time that they're checked out. Then simply you're just going to delete the post when you're ready. So delete the item when the book is returned. You go to the three dots, go to delete item, and you're done. 4 simple steps to get your books checked out and brought back. Now I am going to switch over to something else, but let me go ahead and tell you why this is working for me. So it's a simple way to keep track of what students are reading. You can tell if they're taking out fiction, 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 fiction over and over again, and you want them to, maybe you're studying, text features and you want them to take more nonfiction books home. And so you can kind of see as they're checking out your books what it is that they're reading over and over again. Now, I don't know how you handle your classroom books. My students are able to check out any book they want, whether it's at their reading level or beyond their reading level. But it's also another way that you can see, is it something that they're reading by themselves at home, or is it something that maybe the parents are reading to them at night? Parents can see what their child is reading. Also, they can see what is being checked out. So parents have an idea of what day the book came home and what they should be looking for if I send a note saying, I'm looking for a book that your child took. The teacher can see how long it takes for a student to read a book. So sometimes students will come back to me, 2 or 3 days later and say, I still have this book because I'm still reading it. Maybe it's a chapter book and you have it for a longer period of time. So again, you can see how long it's taking them to read a book. And the very last thing, of course, was my number one reason to start this, was so that I never lose a classroom book again. So many times I was using a different app that would let me scan the code, the barcode at the back. It was just a lot of management because every single student knows how to use Seesaw in my classroom. They do the checkouts themselves with the books. They know how to take the picture, they know how to tag themselves and the classroom library in it. It's on my iPad, I should tell you that. I don't have the students in the account where they can, tag different people if it's one-on-one devices, which is what I have in my classroom. So they use my iPad that's at a station at the end of the day for checkouts or check back-ins. So here's my information, but before I end, I just want to show you something really quickly that I started to do, and I realized how smart this was for me to start to keep track. So if you have the Seesaw Plus account, you get this skills option. So what I did was I started to create a skill that was called fiction and another skill that was called nonfiction. And when I tag those, I'm going to go back to the journal so that you can see. So if this is a book that this girl is checking out, I can go to the skills view and I can tag nonfiction. I just gave it 4 stars just so that I could see it in green. You can decide whatever color you want to see it in. But then as I check it, it now is going to say that this is a fiction book. So when I look at what is she reading more often than not, she's checked out 4 nonfiction books. I just started this week, and she's checked out 1 fiction book. So again, a great way to use what you have. Now, the only thing is that you cannot delete those posts to have the skills view on there. So this would be something where I would put the comments in the caption and I would put it in a folder maybe that was their self-selected reading or the library books home folder that they wouldn't see again. But I could say, check back in the captions. So I just wanted to show you that. It was something I just thought of doing all of this work and thinking about all of these things. And I thought that would be a great way to keep track of what students were reading instead of me flipping through every single post and trying to tally it up.
Sophia, that was amazing. You just blew my mind with that idea to use the skills for your fiction and nonfiction. I had looked at your slides previously and didn't know that was coming, and you totally blew my mind. So, way to go.
Yeah, I will add a slide just because, again, it was something that just kind of came to me this week. And I was trying to calculate a student's how many fiction and nonfiction. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? There has to be an easier way. And then I thought of the skills view. So totally changed what I was thinking.
I love it. I can't wait for people to watch this recording later and get to that part at the end, and their minds will be blown too. That's so wonderful. So, one quick question before we conclude tonight, Sophia. Can you tell me a little bit about your flow as a teacher? Like, do you do this like once a week where you check in and see which books you're missing or which ones need to be returned, or is it something you would do daily, just as far as your own work habits? Can you tell us about that?
Sure, absolutely. Students can check out any day of the week. So Monday through Friday, the iPad is there at the very end of the day. I have two baskets sitting on top of my classroom library. One is a check out basket and one is a check in basket. And so I do the check in basket to make sure that I am deleting the post or I am changing it in the comments that the book was returned. The students do the check out part of it. And we do that the last 10 minutes of class as they get ready for home. So what I do is I have a bucket full of bookmarks that have their name on it. So when they put the book that they want, they put their bookmark with their name on it and they stick it in the check out basket. So at the end of the day, they grab the book that their bookmark is in, they take a picture of it, they tag themselves in the calendar or the classroom library, and they're good to go for the day. So it took probably 3 days to really get into a good flow, and now they're pros at it. We're done in like 5 minutes at the most. And, I'm talking a line of kids who want to take out books. I work in a district where a lot of my students don't have books at home to read for reading log or whatever else for the evening. And so I do have a lot of kids that check books out and come back in.
Sophia, the question box is just blowing up with thank yous and compliments. No real questions. Everybody's just super excited to try all these ideas now. So you have made a lot of teachers very excited and happy.
Oh, I'm very happy about it. This was one idea that I thought, I can't believe I thought of this first. It's always those ideas that you see somebody else come up with and you're like, it was in the back of my head. I swear it was. I could have been a millionaire. So this was one idea that it just clicked and it's been working great all year long.
Well, and we just do always love to hear about innovative ways that teachers are using Seesaw. So thank you so much, Sophia. This was so helpful. I can't wait till everybody gets the recording and the slides. You guys can see on the screen right now ways that you can contact Sophia, but you have all the slides coming your way, and you can see also the URL for the slides on the screen right now in case you just can't wait. So thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you here again real soon. Bye-bye.